Hello. Welcome back to Be You, the place where you unlock your true potential. Today we're going to talk about a very important part of world history, the Korean War, and how one country became two nations, North Korea and South Korea. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like this video. This helps us bring more great content for English learners like you. Okay, let's begin this story. A long time ago, Korea was one country. For many centuries, the Korean people had their own unique culture, language, traditions, and history. They lived together as one people on the Korean peninsula. But everything started to change in the early 1900s. In 1910, Japan officially took control of Korea and made it part of the Japanese Empire. This period is called the Japanese occupation. Life under Japanese rule was very hard for Koreans. They were not free to speak their language or practice their culture. Many people were forced to work, and some were even taken to Japan. Koreans were treated unfairly, and their freedom was lost for 35 years. Then came World War II, one of the biggest wars in history. It lasted from 1939 to 1945. In 1945, Japan was defeated by the Allied powers, which included the United States, the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and others. As part of Japan's defeat, Korea was freed from Japanese control. But this freedom came with a new problem. After Japan left, there was a question: who would now lead Korea? The country had no strong government at the time. So, the Soviet Union and the United States decided to divide Korea temporarily. They drew a line across the country at the 38th parallel, a line of latitude. The Soviet Union took control of the north, and the U.S. took control of the south. This was supposed to be a short-term plan, but it became permanent. In the north, the Soviets helped establish a communist government. In the south, the Americans supported a capitalist and democratic government. Over time, these two parts of Korea grew apart, not just in politics, but also in economy, lifestyle, and beliefs. By 1948, the differences were too great. Two separate countries were created. In the north, Kim Il-sung became the leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, known as North Korea. In the south, Syngman Rhee became the first president of the Republic of Korea, or South Korea. Both leaders wanted to reunite Korea, but on their own terms. Tension grew quickly. Each side believed it had the right to rule the whole peninsula. And then, on June 25, 1950, war broke out. North Korean troops, supported by Soviet weapons and advice, crossed the 38th parallel and invaded the south. Their goal was to take over all of Korea. They moved quickly and captured Seoul, the capital of South Korea, in just a few days. The world was shocked. The United Nations, led by the United States, decided to take action. President Harry S. Truman sent American troops to help defend South Korea. Soon, soldiers from over 15 countries, including the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Turkey, joined the fight. Together, they pushed the North Koreans back. For a while, it looked like the UN forces would win the war. They pushed all the way to the Yalu River, near the border with China. But then, China entered the war. Hundreds of thousands of Chinese soldiers came to help North Korea. They pushed the UN forces back to the south. The fighting was intense. Cities were destroyed. Families were separated. Millions of people lost their homes. More than 2.5 million people died or were injured. This was not just a war between two countries. It became a war between ideologies, communism and democracy. The war continued for 3 long years, from 1950 to 1953. In the end, neither side could win completely. On July 27, 1953, both sides signed an armistice agreement. This stopped the fighting, but it did not officially end the war. Even today, North and South Korea are still technically at war. A new border was created, close to the original 38th parallel. A demilitarized zone, DMZ, was established, a 250-kilometer-long area with no weapons or soldiers allowed. It is one of the most heavily guarded borders in the world today. Since the war, South Korea has grown into a rich and modern country. It is known for its technology, music, and democratic government. On the other hand, North Korea remains isolated and controlled by the same family, the Kim dynasty. It is ruled by Kim Jong-un, the grandson of Kim Il-sung. The story of the Korean War is still not finished. Many families remain divided. Peace talks have happened, but no official peace treaty has been signed. People around the world hope that one day the two Koreas can come together again, not in war, but in peace. This story teaches us many lessons: how powerful countries can shape the future of smaller nations, how dangerous war can be, and how strong the hope for unity and peace can remain, even after many years. Now, you know the true and complete story of how one Korea became two. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new lesson. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment below and tell us what topic you want us to cover next. Thanks for listening to Be You. See you next time.